Good morning.
Morning. That's me, Millie. Ordinary, boring Millie.
I love your dress. I think I saw it at Discount Bonanza.
Okay, so I was never the most popular,
Homecoming's this weekend.
Booker is gonna be at the dance.
and boys never really noticed me.
Wow!
Honestly, if this was a horror movie, I'd be one of the first ones to get killed.
Cue the creepy dude in the mask.
Like I said. But actually, it turns out
Where am I?
I didn't get killed.
Oh my God, why do I sound like that?
I woke up in the killer's body.
The Blissfield Butcher strikes again.
Don't freak out.
You're black! I'm gay! We are so dead!
Ow! Will you stop? It's me, it's Millie. Hail, Blissfield, high, feel our glory and our might.
And not only is that psycho wearing my body, he's killing it.
He's like a wolf in sheep's clothing. Who knows how many of our friends he's gonna kill?
Are you sure this is safe?
No.
Oh my God, it's a slaughterhouse.
I have like less than 6 hours to swap back or I'm gonna be stuck in his body forever.
Hurry up, loser, I gotta take a dump.
I have to admit, it hasn't been all bad.
I'm sorry, sir, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Move! How's that feel? I'll make you wish your stupid face was never born. Oh my God, did you just pee yourself?
Yes!
Whoa, what am I wearing?
I'm actually really liking this for you. Great. We're gonna get killed by Murder Barbie.
I can't wait to kill you.
Time to stop this asshole.
We're in this together.
I want my body back.
Come and get it.
Look, I know I look like the butcher, but it's Millie.
He's crazy.
Okay, Booker, can you look at me, please?
Dry up, bitch.
Booker, help! Booker!
Will you shut up?
Hello and welcome to the periodic table of awesome. Hello, I am Dion's disembodied head. While we are talking today for Friday the 13th. Someone else speak.
Fuck. Oh, Jesus. I'm sorry. Sorry. That seemed like a really good idea at the time. But hello, disembodied head of Dion. How are you?
I'm amazing.
Yes, you're also way off mic, so it's
Right.
it's beautiful. Come, are we gonna? There's his real head.
There we go. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. It's Friday night. And
Friday,
it's Friday the
Friday.
13th.
Gotta
and
kill kids on Friday.
Today I'm joined by serial quinner, David Quinn, and also the what would you look? Hadako, the Jill Darko, the sister of
Hey!
Sadako.
Oh,
I believe
under there.
I believe it's pronounced Hildago, isn't it?
Jill Darko.
Gildargo. Hang on, no, that's a horse. No.
Oh wait. Yes, I agree, Casper.
Spooky. Actually,
Jill's is
Jill,
the best
your eyes
one.
are even creepier.
Yeah, it's because what is it?
Did stuff?
Put makeup on my eyebrows. What's the word?
Oh, you got
Conceal.
rid of you.
I
you
got
concealed
concealer
your-
on my eyebrows. Yeah. So it looks
Remember,
really-
kids,
Ah!
this is what happens when you make an effort.
Yeah, yes. I've
put-
heard of making it.
I put on a T-shirt, which you
I
can
put
buy,
on a silly mask.
which you can get from Tony Moore.
Oh, wow. So smooth.
Bit of a plug there, but you know
smooth.
that's fine.
This is not a costume. It's a piece of fabric wrapped around me. And a wig from the
Excellent.
box. Which
Yes.
is actually like really itchy. Is it okay if I take this off?
You are more than welcome to.
No, you must keep it on to prove
Are
your
you gonna
worth.
keep the mask on, Quinny?
Absolutely.
It's called
Quite
intermediate
frankly,
horror.
I think the longer I wear this, I'm pretty sure I see the subs going up. So
All right. Oh wait, hang on. Yes, okay, no labels. It's fine.
yeah, no labels, and technically, I'm not even sure you meant to drink on stream, but it doesn't matter.
What?
You're drinking water out of a beer glass.
Yes,
beer thing.
water.
Yes, totally. So what are we doing tonight other than fucking around in makeup and
It
wearing
might be
funny
Friday,
masks?
but it's also the 13th.
Oh,
Yay!
so spooky.
And unlike the title card that I have put on for today's Friday the 13th, we're not discussing Halloween or Friday the 13th, which is all of the stabby one. What are we discussing?
Stabbies. I'm here for the stabbies. That's
More
what.
horror movies. It hasn't been it's been too long since we've talked about horror movies, to be honest.
Yes. Because we did a podcast a while ago about intro to horror.
The first horror one we did was out of lockdown. That's how long ago it was.
Oh shit! Really?
Yes.
And I'm had a thought that this was while Beck and I were away, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was
We
just
did-
Dion and I.
Yeah, because I
in
was thinking
person.
I don't remember doing this.
Yeah.
We talked to intro to horror, like how to get into horror.
Right.
Yes.
And
And
what
do
sort of
that.
things did you cover in that?
Well, a good introductory horror was the Netflix series Sabrina.
Nice.
Then we talked about also on Netflix, Haunting of Hill House, which is freaking terrifying, by the way.
I was going to say that's a little more than intro too.
Well, it was kind of like here's an intro, here's a really scary one, and then here's a whack job one. And the whack job one was Suspiria, the original.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah, right. Okay.
It's whack job, but it's body horror, and it's
man.
it's freaking rad. It's cool.
And speaking of horror, I just want to shout out to Casper, who is based in the ACT and has now entered the horror that is lockdown. Yay.
Yay! Good luck with all of your casual contact references and announcements and going through all of that. Been there, done that. That's
Good
been
times.
fun, isn't it? It's like, oh, great, a text message from New South Wales Health going, you should go and get tested. Like, thank.
So good.
That's a horror story we're living with. So now we're talking about.
Yes. Every morning at 11 a.m., it's horror movie right there on my TV. Gladys Berejiklian right there on my TV. Brad fucking Hazard right there on my TV.
You mean Health Hazard?
Fuck, he's just a complete dick.
Fuck, I can't understand why they're not taking the blame.
Ow! Yeah, that's right. Music should. It's a musical episode all about musical horror. No, wait.
Sure. I should drink more before streams. Jesus. Anyway.
Oh. Well, now I want to go and find out if there is.
Yes, there is a musical horror. You saw it. We reviewed it way back in Cool Shite, remember?
Which one?
Hey? The one about the body part thing with Anthony Stewart Head.
Oh, shit. Actually, yeah, one of my favorite fucking pieces of musical theater ever. Repo, the Genetic
Repo,
Opera.
the Genetic Opera.
Oh my god.
That's a horror musical. What are you talking about?
Shit.
Even Rocky
I
Horror
need to-
Picture Show.
I need to change my thing.
Sweeney Todd, like fuck's sake.
Okay.
Oh, man. Okay, right. Sorry.
It's two
Yeah.
in the whole universe. Thank you.
Okay, yes. But one of them, Repo, the Genetic Opera, is
Repo.
has possibly the best fucking piece of music. Like, it is so badass.
Yeah.
But we're not, and yes, it does have Paris Hilton, so you can't win them all. But she's quite good in it.
So Q, you might have to go back and redo Intro to Horror because you're an intermediate now.
Oh, right. Well, it appears that I have failed intermediate, so I'm probably going to have to resit intro.
Yeah, but hey, look, you're here right now. Please put your project up on the board. We're going to assess it.
Oh, okay. All right. Sorry. I've been working in a team, and I'm pretty sure the other guys have the PowerPoint presentation. So, yeah.
Sure.
I mean, I'm gonna I'll talk through it, and I will talk about Zydrate Anatomy. Yes, because it's one of my favorite fucking songs ever.
Well, as you may have seen from the trailer that we played just ahead of the thing, we're going to be talking about Freaky, which is on Amazon Prime, I believe, which is a remake. Is it a remake or a reboot?
No, it's not even a
Thematic.
reboot. It's a spoof of
Right.
Freaky Friday
Freaky Friday, but
and slasher horror in general.
But horror. And we're also going to be talking about the one that came out
It's actually
recently.
available on Foxtel and Binge, not on Amazon Prime. Sorry.
What, Freaky?
It was on Prime.
Oh no, Freaky was definitely on Prime today when I went and looked at it. So I'm not gonna
It's
point.
on both.
I'm not going to push people
right.
towards Murdoch. I'm going to push them towards Bezos.
No,
So,
no,
I mean,
great. More.
That's just if that's just choosing between two
It's
devils.
tomato.
I don't know. Yeah,
It really is. One of them flies a dick into space. One is a dick.
Is
in
it
space.
Lucifer or Mephisto? Either one. It doesn't. You know. And we're also going to be talking about Werewolves Within, which
I'm very excited about.
a little quirky film that came out. Was it this year or last year? This year.
This year.
Yeah. And then we also get one film of choice from each of us to talk about as well. But we might as well get into Freaky. Now, I hope you've all done your homework.
Oh, I was the one that told you guys to watch this.
I meant the
love
chat.
Freaky.
I meant the chat, like the chat, which is
Oh, yeah.
here. See this nebulous thing where I hand off that way and I look this way occasionally? That's the chat.
Oh, right.
So I'm
Is
just
that
like,
what that is?
The chat.
You're also
Hi,
pointing at the wrong
chat.
side.
Yeah.
You're pointing at the wrong side.
Wait,
now.
no. Oh, the chat. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
That chat.
The chat is on the other side.
I
Yes,
should.
there it
I need
is.
to move the monitor so it actually corresponds. I'm like, I'm just looking at the chat over here, where I'm not.
Yeah.
Like, it's over there.
Yeah. Well, if I look at the chat, I'm like, hi, chat over there. How you doing?
Oh goodness.
Yeah.
Wait. Oh,
Anyway.
hang on. There's a Witcher musical.
What?
Son of a witch.
Wow. There's also the Rocky Horror Picture Show, but I'm not entirely sure whether that's a horror.
Yes, it is. It absolutely is. They cut people up with
If
a
you're a
chop-
homophobe, it's pretty horrific.
True. Yeah. You are absolutely correct, Jim.
I love that idea that now I can think back and go, oh wow, everyone that I knew like in my social group that was like Rocky Horror, I hate that. That's a weird thing. I don't want to know. I'm like, oh right.
That's gay.
Yeah. Like
Or a gay.
I knew
Um,
it's like certain people I was like, I love Rocky Horror, and they're like, yeah, we love it. And then other people are like, Rocky Horror, no, it's a piece of shit. And I'm like, okay, I'm getting what's happening here.
yeah, I think you know roughly what kind of people you're talking to.
Yeah. I can also understand maybe, you know, my parents' strange thing of like, are you watching that again? I'm like, yeah, it's great. They're like,
I think I've told
okay.
you how I accidentally watched it.
No one accidentally watches the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
They do if your mother doesn't know the difference between Little Shop of Horrors and the Rocky Horror Picture Show and gets the wrong one from the video store when you're sick and 10 years old.
It's just, well, I hope this doesn't awaken anything in me.
I remember looking at that video going, you better not awaken anything in me. And it did.
Wonderful.
But-
Wonderful.
Though, funnily enough, when you mention that, I also go, oh, yeah, The Little Shop of Horrors, which is also a horror musical. So I should probably shut the fuck up about horror musicals because there's a lot of them.
Yeah.
Turns out there is.
Jill, can you please, sorry, let's bring it back onto track. What are we doing with intermediate horror? We've done our beginners, so go and watch some Sabrina. Go and watch some House on Haunted Hill, which is kind of
Haunting of
terrifying.
Hill House.
Haunting of Hill House.
Yeah,
I'm
different
sorry.
thing.
There's a different
Similar?
one. Yeah. Same,
Very-
but different.
Yep.
And I mean, I've got a controversial choice for my pick this time, only because it could be considered advanced. But I also want to start that I took this as intermediate has to have some form of either storytelling device or genre wrapped around the horror factor that if you just took out the horrific bits, it would still play well in that genre, rather than a straight horror, which is just kind of like, here's a dumb situation and just plenty of blood, guts, gore, and screaming.
Okay.
But that's just how I took it. It's subjective. Horror is a subjective thing.
Yeah, horror is pretty subjective.
So yeah, I think my choice could be considered advanced horror, because I know that some people are like, I'm not watching that thing until I've built up to it.
Okay, right.
But
Well, look at you, always going outside the lines.
sure, I color outside the lines. I mean, I could have chosen Aliens as a reference point, because that was
Thought
one of
about
the first things that terrified me as a child.
Oh, yeah.
So when I could finally but I mean, the very first horror movie I ever watched was House 2.
Oh, see, I was fucking petrified of House 2, but not because I ever saw the film. Just something about the cover of the VHS in the thing scared the living shittery out of me.
Yeah, House 2,
It was
Ding Dong, You're Dead. and it's a finger pressing the button, and I watched it, and it wasn't until I went through that, and one of my friends at the time, because I was terrified watching it, this is terrifying, explaining, no, there's jokes in it, and eventually like stopped and went, look, it's funny jokes, and started laughing, and I was like, oh, I can actually watch a horror movie now without being just terrified the entire time. But E.T. still scared me anyway.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about Freaky Jill.
Yes.
Yes, tell us about Freaky Jill. I want to know about Freaky Jill.
Does Jill like to get freaky?
Freaky is.
Sorry, you can't see my eyebrows raised. But
Freaky is like a play on Freaky Friday, and classics like Scream and I Know What You Did Last Summer, pure slasher horror. We have a serial killer played by Vince Vaughn who's running around stabbing people. Classic.
Still such a weird bit of casting.
Classic.
Works.
Oh no, my peg is showing.
Oh no! Oh no! It's okay, Jill. You're allowed to take the wig off. I'm not. Yeah. Get comfortable.
My horror sheet. Yeah. And a girl called Millie, and I've forgotten the actress's name, but she's great. I love her. I've seen her in other stuff. And he's going about his merry business, stabbing people. When he breaks into this really well-to-do family's place, steals this like
Catherine
antique.
Newton.
Thank you, Catherine Newton. Antique knife that actually is like a cursed knife.
Woo.
And then so when he's chasing after Millie to kill her next, he stabs her at the peak of the full moon, and they switch bodies.
Of course.
So she ends up in the serial killer's body.
Classic
and
trope.
he ends up in her body.
Like the body
switching
swap
scene.
trope is absolutely classic shit.
I do love a body swap.
I'm down for it. And then,
but then mixing it with horror is just like a whole other level.
It works surprisingly well. I watched it yesterday and I was like, this is really fucking entertaining.
It's got great slasher horror moments, but it also has this comedy movement to it that is just like, I don't know. I don't even know how to describe it. It's wacky. Wacky is what it is.
And very self-aware. It has, I mean, it is in that post-Scream kind of thing where people are aware of horror movies and they know who's meant to die and who's not, and they'll comment on it and everything.
Yeah. I mean, Scream was actually one of the ones that I thought is a good intermediate horror
Absolutely,
series as
I
well.
think Scream and I Know What You Did Last Summer were like the first things I ever watched that were like properly scary.
Yeah. But like in this one, like I agree. When I was watching it, it was like, oh, I want you to watch Freaky, and I was like, okay. And then I got into it and I was watching. I'm like, okay, Vince Vaughn, what's this gonna be like? And then I was kind of like, all right, I know why Vince Vaughn did this.
Yeah,
because Vince Vaughn didn't have to play the evil kind of serial killer. Vince Vaughn had to play a 15-year-old high school student from a different gender, and that's why he was like, okay, great.
Yeah,
like,
and he's really quite charming in this role.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Like I don't particularly love Vince Vaughn. Like he's done some fucking terrible films.
Done some stinkers.
Yeah, but
name one stinker that Vince Vaughn's been in.
I'm not a big fan of the Wedding Crashers. Thank you.
That was not rehearsed.
Like, oh god, okay. But,
I mean, do we have to go on? Because I will go to his IMDb if I have to. But yeah, not a huge
there
fan.
one
of
with
him.
Jennifer Aniston?
Probably.
I feel like there was, because didn't they date for a while? Sure,
God, I
it was
hope not.
during a movie. But
anyway, enough about Vince Vaughn's love life. He doesn't have any romances in this, which is well. I mean, he kind of does.
Yes.
But what's great about it is that they flipped that whole narrative and played it off quite well by going, yeah, they've done this weird mystical body swap idea, and then just run with the whole idea, the whole narrative of how would you convince people that you knew that you were you, and then how does that work trying to get back to it, because it was lovely to watch everyone go through that movie, transitioning from the, oh holy shit, it's a serial killer, to no, this is my best friend, or like, my high school friend, and it's totally fine.
Yeah. And now we got to get the real serial killer.
Yeah.
Who is in Millie's body and is doing everything that she can to kind of vamp it up. And you can see why also Catherine Newton would have been going, fuck yeah, I want to do this role. Because I get to be a badass, but also I get to, play for laughs. Yeah, there's a lot of very clever stuff in
I
it.
get to murder a bunch of date rapists. I get to
murder.
Exactly.
With a chainsaw.
Yeah. And a bottle and a whole bunch of other stuff. We get to say
it
some things
starts out
about gender.
really, really formulaic. The first 5 minutes, I was like, oh shit, are we literally just doing a straight up slasher film?
But it kind of leads you into this false pretense of this is going to be one of those really crappy slasher movies.
And even there's a couple. There are some clever kills, because that's what everybody watches. A certain kind of horror movie for. It's like, okay, show me your clever kills.
Yes. Can I just say the one from Scream 2 where the guy gets stabbed through the head in a toilet door has stuck with me my entire life.
You're never going to lean on a toilet door?
No, because the thing was, the Ghostface killer was on the other side going, making these creepy noises, and the guy's like, what is that? And puts his head up against the toilet door, and then bam, the knife just goes straight into his head. And I'm like, anybody ever is whispering at me in a toilet, don't put your head against the wall.
For all of those weird times where there are stabbing incidents in your life.
I know.
The amount of times I've been in a public toilet
I would have
cubicle
thought that
and people have
it isn't that
whispered
common,
through
but
the door.
today there was a stabbing in my neighborhood, so I guess no toilet doors for me.
Can I make the
I think
same
I was
joke
15
again, Quinny?
years old
Was
when
it
I
you?
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
No, you can't go outside.
Oh,
because
hang
it's
on.
not-
No, don't do that either.
It's not COVID safe. Yeah, it's good. It's good and why? But what I want to know is, why is this intermediate horror and not beginners or advanced?
Because I feel like the gore and the slasher vibes from it is probably not for the squeamish, because it is quite bloody.
Oh yeah.
But also the comedy elements lend it to being a little bit tongue-in-cheek and not as terrifying as you might think it is. Of course, people are getting killed, but then you got this funny moment with this huge lumbering dude running around with a couple of teenagers freaking out. And also trying to have romantic moments with her crush while she's in this huge dude's body. It's really funny.
But also there was something that I really enjoyed about it, was that whole thing of the crazy killer dude, when he's in Millie's body, realizing that he's used to being powerful. He's used to being strong and being able to kick people around and stuff. And in this one, he's actually not. So he has to, if he wants to kill people, he has to try a different way of doing things. And I was like, that's actually quite clever.
Yeah.
It's surprisingly smart film.
Yeah, all the strengths that the serial killer had in the other body, in the male body, are now not there. So requires that change in thinking. And also flipped the other way around, Millie's abilities suddenly change, where she's got a physicality that she hasn't got to worry about. It's kind of it's an interesting film. I quite like it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought it rambled along at a fucking great pace.
Yeah. And of all the Blumhouse stuff that has come out in the past 2 years, I think this is definitely the best one after Invisible Man. Of all the recent content, I think this and Invisible Man are probably the best Blumhouse stuff I've seen.
Yeah, I'm actually interested to know whether they did this under their usual system, because a couple of years ago I did an interview with Jason Blum where he was talking about their finance system.
Oh, yeah.
That they will give anything $2 million straight up.
Okay.
Basically, if you've got an idea and you've got a script, they'll give you $2 million without having to think about it.
Wow.
If it's successful, then they may give you $4 million for the sequel. But basically, they know that whatever the fuck they make, they can recoup $2 million. Even if it's complete failure, they can recoup it. So they're willing to take big risks on fucking anything. And so I'm interested to know whether this one was one of those real cheapy ones, or one of the slightly more expensive ones.
Well, let's be honest. Vince Vaughn isn't going to cost too much. Really?
No.
Should we go and have a little bit of a look at a clip from Freaky?
Yes.
And then we'll come back and talk about something else.
Okay.
Guys! Guys, listen, it's not what you think. Oh! Come on! Both. I got both. Guys!
You're black! I'm gay! We are so dead! Somebody help us, please!
Tyler, Josh! Stop running. I'm not gonna hurt you. It's me, it's Millie.
I'm sick. Fuck are you? Does he know our name?
Stop running, please.
Stay the fuck away from us!
Ayla, will you listen to me for a second? Oh, God, I'm strong.
Come on!
Nyla, I'm so sorry. Let's just talk. Guys, well, don't. Really?
Yes, I love that whole idea of just trying to throw a tray at people. Going, really?
Yeah, really?
That's not gonna help. Oh God, I'm strong.
Yeah, but it pokes fun at all of the stupid shit that
Yeah.
we see in slasher movies.
Yeah, I love that. It's
Absolutely.
like, you're black, I'm gay, we're so dead.
I always found it funny that, like, when he wakes up in a house that is clearly some kind of abandoned tenement or something, and there's like a homeless drug addict there, and it's like, does he know that he kills people?
Probably, but
Also, there is a weird thing right at the start where they kind of intimate that this slasher, this killer, comes back around every 20 or 40 years or whatever it is. And so I was wondering whether they were going to, bring that back around, something to do with the knife and the trading bodies or something like that. But they didn't, so it doesn't matter.
No, I'm glad they
Yep,
didn't.
cool, whatever.
It's fine to have it how it was.
Yes.
I like that one. Yeah, freaky, good intro to it.
Recommend.
I would put Freaky, like, if you were going to have like a big sort of evening, I would put Freaky alongside The Babysitter.
Sure. Yeah. I also like you're saying, like, if you're going to have a big evening of watching movies alone while in lockdown. Thanks, Quinny. Thanks for reminding us all.
Hey, I didn't even say lockdown. Whatever.
Yeah, like I would definitely like to watch this with people, like as a group. It would be fun, but also I don't want to kill anyone in that group, so I'm not going to do that by breaking lockdown regulations and health advisories until everyone's been vaccinated.
Yes.
Yeah, there's my public.
Sorry,
health.
every time I move my glasses, I feel like I look more like Kerry Chan.
Oh, jeez.
Fair enough. Also, I'm wondering, like, are they fogging up? What's going on with that? It just looks.
I'm
weird.
struggling.
Yeah.
Every time I move them, they slide down my nose, and it's
like,
just a bad time.
It's like I respect your like
Commitment
to the bit.
Yep, absolutely.
Doing great there.
I may not be good at many things, but I will stick with a thing well beyond the point where it's funny.
Well, tell us about the next one.
The next one, Werewolves Within.
Now, you're going to have to help me on this one because I didn't get a chance to watch
You
this.
didn't watch it
Do you
yet.
want should I play
Like
the
it,
trailer and then we'll come back
Yes.
and talk about it? All right.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's do
We'll do a quick thing.
Okay.
We'll play the trailer and then we'll come back and talk about it.
Should have packed our snowshoes.
What? People do that?
You know, fun fact, not only is it the oldest, but remains one of the most effective means of traversing the ice.
Wow. Yeah, you're gonna fit right in at Beaverfield. Everything here is a little questionable.
Ranger!
The people. The weather. Everything.
Oh.
Ranger?
You look like you just seen a corpse.
Well, the roads are effed, and something's wrong with the generator.
Which generator?
All of them.
Can't get on the internet!
Also, there's a dead body under your porch.
Holy!
Probably a wolf.
What are you, like a wolf detective now, Marcus?
Who knows who or when it's gonna kill next.
I think we can all agree that it's unsafe outside, and there's safety in numbers. Out of curiosity, who is packing? Well, we're having a good old-fashioned sleepover.
With guns, though.
With guns, yes.
Everything about this predator is unorthodox. It's not human. It's not canine. It's one of them.
One of what? A lycanthrope. A what?
A werewolf.
How could it gotten in here? How did they get out?
Who says it got out?
Maybe.
I'm a werewolf.
Maybe you're a werewolf. Maybe you're a werewolf. You're a werewolf. You're a werewolf. You're a werewolf. Maybe we're all werewolves.
Are we really in a Mexican standoff right now?
Baby, don't say Mexican. Just stand up.
You know, we're probably just gonna head out.
This is
We're just pull it.
Well,
We got it on our own. It's just, hey, you go ahead. Please. Don't spare me.
Oh, please don't. Oh, please. Please don't bother the
Spare
lock.
me. I think I
Oh
couldn't
my
do that
goodness, I
myself.
could have
Wow.
gotten it.
Yes, Werewolves Within. What's it about, Jill?
And yes, Predakanga, it is an adaptation of the game.
Oh,
Werewolf.
fuck. That's awesome.
Yes. So, yeah, produced by Ubisoft.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, this is Werewolves Within.
So when we talk about Werewolf the game, we're talking about the card game where you all sit around and try and guess who's the werewolf.
Yes, and so Ubisoft made a version of it for VR where you could play with up to 8 players, and it puts you in like a medieval town, and you play the werewolf game through VR.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this movie
I'm going to steal the
adaptation-
VR from work.
Yeah, the movie adaptation is actually really cool. We have a guy that moves to a very small town, becomes the mailman in that town.
Oh, the ranger, the
and-
park ranger. There's already a male,
Park-
male
park ranger.
person.
That's right. He meets the
Male
the
person.
mailwoman on the route. Yeah, that's right.
The gender indeterminate male person, please.
Yes.
Right. Hang on. If you say he's male, then he's male. So anyway.
The
You
the
cannot see
gender.
the shit-eating grin that I have behind
Yeah,
this
yeah.
stupid fucking mask.
Sure. I
Trust me,
really
it's
like
there.
this one, Jill.
Yes, I really enjoyed this. And
Yeah.
you put me onto it actually, Dion. You said, hey, this is coming out. And I thought, yeah, that sounds like fun.
I saw that, and you're right to say, you reminded me, you were like, oh, we watched the Tomorrow War, and there was that funny guy that was meant to be the funny guy that was in there, and he's
Yes,
the one in this.
It was in Werewolves Within.
But
Yes.
in the right
Um,
frame, like in the right context, like
Mm.
doesn't work really in the Tomorrow War, works perfectly in Werewolves Within, like
Yeah.
Outsider.
He was in Veep as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But Outsider
he's-
comes in comedic relief of this kind of dry deadpan humor, small town,
Yes.
like tight setting, small cast, well
Yep.
done. So that's
And a
really what it is. It's
mystery.
it's a mystery, a thriller horror, or kind of whodunit horror.
Yeah,
which is
whodunit
what-
horror is a good, yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah,
And so it is that kind of thing where you are with everybody trying to work out who the killer is. And
Yeah.
okay, that's
So
fun.
I would say this one's not like horror because there's not too many gory things, but it's tense because they're keeping the mystery of who's the werewolf right the way through. There's so many little red herrings and stuff done that it's good for the scare because you tense the whole time. So that's where it's kind of horrific. But yeah, I kind of agree with Peter. It's like it's more fun. It's fun. It's
it is
not
kind of fun.
particularly horrific, but it does have enough horror in it.
And the jokes are good. It's so funny because when I was watching this, I was quite surprised because the directorial style is very Edgar Wright. Like if you love Hot Fuzz, Shaun of the Dead, it has the same vibes of like those quick cut pans and the weird, funny, like kind of misplaced humor and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it is not Edgar Wright.
No, it's quite
I
good.
think Predator Kangaroo is a bit like Clue, but with horror.
Yeah. You know, Clue, but imagine instead of someone just killing people off randomly off screen.
Imagine Clue, but like dialed up to 11.
Yeah.
Because it's quite thrilling.
Okay. And do you actually get to see werewolves at any point in time? Because this is my kind of my metric for a good werewolf movie is, do I get to see a werewolf, or is it just Jack Nicholson with stupid fucking mutton chop sideburns? Because that is on a scale of 1 to a werewolf movie. There is also slightly underneath 1. There is Jack Nicholson with stupid mutton chop sideburns.
You leave
It's
Wolf
not until
alone.
the climax at the end of the film, but there is a werewolf.
I mean, it's no American Werewolf in London, which I will go as a traditional horror movie. Maybe that's advanced horror.
Also a comedy.
Kind of.
It aims for comedy. It's very dark comedy.
Sure. I mean, American Werewolf in London still has the best werewolf transformation, hands down, ever. This one has the same kind of thing. You do get a reveal, and I really won't spoil the reveal because it's
probably a good idea.
But I will say that the quirky banter and the back and forth, and you trying to work out who is the werewolf based on the information you're getting, is like a really fun game of werewolf.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Okay.
I actually, it's a great little sleeper. Like, get on it, go watch.
Okay.
Werewolves.
Where do we
Within.
find that one? That was
the internet.
Yeah, it was a cinema release earlier this year. I don't know when it will be coming to streaming.
Get out there and look around for werewolves within. But if it's something that pops up, don't sort of sit there and go, "Oh, it's might be a bit shit." It's like, no, it's good.
Yeah.
Like a good
Don't
popcorn.
sleep on it. Go and find it as soon as you can.
Yeah. It's fun time.
very cool.
Right.
I'm looking forward to hunting that one down because I do enjoy a good werewolf thing. I think my favorite werewolf one in the past probably 20 years, Dog Soldiers.
Okay.
Oh yeah, Dog Soldiers is amazing too. A bit
Neil
like
Marshall from The Descent, and who did those couple of really good episodes of Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
That
where
sounds familiar. It's like an army unit that are werewolves, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's badass. And
Predator Kangaroo
they
says
do
it's,
really cool looking werewolves.
Werewolves Within is on Amazon Prime. There you go. Don't have to
Oh, there you
worry
go.
about it, but
Okay.
yeah, get out there. Like, that's a good one that came out.
Nice.
All right, now we get to we've done our 2 that we've done as recommended homework reading that we've all seen, and we got to the point now where we're talking about what our picks of intermediate horror are.
Yes,
and I'm excited.
Yes. Oh wait, do we want to go? Do you want a little clip from Werewolves Within those, just to whet your appetite? Do you want to have a?
I think everybody would.
Funny
Drop an F in the chat if you want some clips.
Yeah. C. A
It's
C
a
in the
T
chat.
for trailer.
Oh, T for trailer. Sorry.
It's T for trailer. C for clip.
Oh no! I want to say I'm so sorry to Predakanga that his first horror was Dreamcatcher.
Oh dear, yeah. I love everyone just pressing F, T, C, F, B.
Just put a random letter in the chat.
C,
QWERTY.
T,
Type
C,
QWERTY for
U.
clip. Let's go have a look at the clip.
Cecily?
Okay, slow down.
Out of curiosity, who is packing?
I am, yes, sir, America.
Who else is packing, dog?
Wow.
I have Dave's hunting rifle if that would be helpful.
Oh, gosh, I almost forgot. I got, it's teensy, it's just a little, it's a first gun.
Excuse you. Okay. I think we should keep a gun in every room, just to be safe.
Yo, hold up! This dude Emerson wants to come down off his mountain maniac ass and eat our asses and fuck our skulls. Guess what? It's not gonna happen tonight because pam, I'm up in this shit.
Yeah, where my gun goes, I goes.
Same. And I'm sleeping with my wife. Unless someone prefers that my gun stays in someone else's room. Cecily, do you have protection? Or?
I'm good.
Thank you. One more time. Raise your hand if you have a gun.
It's tiny, it's purse gun.
And if you don't have a gun, no gun.
Marcus got my gun.
Well, we're having a good old-fashioned sleepover.
guns, though.
With guns.
Yeah, it's a good old-fashioned American sleepover with guns.
Which is, let's be honest, a good old-fashioned American sleepover.
Oh, good. Goodness gracious. Well, who wants to go first in the things of intermediate horror?
Ooh, so that's a tricky one. I mean,
I'll go.
okay, you're leading the charge, Jill.
Okay, so my recommendation is available on Amazon Prime. It is called The Rental.
The Rental. Oh,
okay. I know not of this one.
Should I do you want a trailer of The Rental?
Yes, let's see the trailer.
Have a look at the trailer for The Rental.
Let me show you out back, and then I'll get out of your hair.
The stars are insane out here.
I should have brought the telescope.
What do you need a telescope in the city for? Unless you're like a peeping Tom or something.
Charlie! Tell me that's not a camera.
Get through the night. We leave first thing in the morning.
What's going on?
I don't know.
This will be over soon, I promise. This will never be over.
Look, this is not okay, Charlie, all right? Stop being so calm. Everything is fine.
Okay. The Rental.
Yes. If it was ever a movie for the 21st century, it is now the time for Airbnb horror. If you ever want to rethink staying at an Airbnb, watch this movie.
I don't want
So this is
because,
the
like,
horror for middle-class white people.
One of the first
Yes.
fuck you. Okay, so one of the first things I want to do when
The
I'm
entire
out of,
cast, Dion, middle-class white people.
one of the first things I want to do when I get out of lockdown after what is now 47 days is hire an Airbnb and go away from my own house for a weekend. Like, I'm looking forward to
Well-
that. And now you're telling me that there's a movie out there that's going to encourage me to not do that.
Here's a tip. Check the shower head for cameras.
I do that already.
Okay, then you're fine.
Yeah.
What's my next tip?
I'm just trying to work
So-
out, is there a pun that can be made for air, bleed, and bleed or something?
Oh, there you go. Well, that was one, but it wasn't good. So,
Sorry.
yeah. Yeah. Thanks, Predicate. Yeah, I could go camping. Totally
Oh
normal.
yeah, go camping
Yeah,
by the
nothing.
lake.
Yeah.
Everything good happens when you're camping.
Yeah.
So,
Remember, like, split up.
is
have
it
sex.
properly creepy?
A little bit, yeah. Like
Okay.
you have a group of 4 people. You got Dan Stevens, gorgeous. Alison Brie, gorgeous.
Sorry, I just got that image of Sadako. Just going, Dan Stevens, gorgeous.
He's gorgeous. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Watch my videotape. He's gorgeous.
With like 2 other people who I don't know. And the 4 of them decide to get away for the weekend. Oh my god, let's go down to the city, you guys. And Dan Stevens
I
is
do not
having an
sound like that,
affair
Jill.
with the other girl.
Oh,
So
oh.
he's got these 2 girls going at the same time. His partner doesn't know. And yes, shenanigans ensue.
Ah.
But also horror and death? Because this one seems
Lots
like
of horror, lots of murder.
Right, because this one seems like very much a thriller, not a horror. So you're telling me that there's definitely horror in it.
There is definitely murder.
Right.
Okay.
So it is thrilling. It is murderific. And Peter, you love Dan Stevens, but you'll hate him in this because he's a prick.
He does occasionally do a good line in being a prick or unpleasant.
What are you talking about? I watched Downton Abbey. He was a complete prick in that.
Exactly.
And also Blythe Spirit. If you watch Blythe Spirit, he's a bit of a prick in that too.
I had read that it was a bit shit, so I kind of
No, it's
avoided
funny,
it.
It's good.
Oh,
It's good, you
okay.
should watch
So-
it.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so these people find a camera in the shower head and realize that Dan Stevens cheated on his partner with the other girl in the shower, so it's all being recorded. And they're like, "Fuck, we need to find where the recording's going." And once they just start doing that, it triggers the person who's been watching them to come out of the woodwork and start murdering them.
Right.
Literally out of the woodwork. Is he living in the crawl space and with a
No.
That's the guy. Yeah, it's it's interesting. Like one of those good old tropes of isolated people either camping, but this one's just Airbnb-ing, and then slowly being picked off one by one. Like,
And they kind of set you up to think that it's probably the caretaker of the house, but that may not be the case.
right.
Well, you've got to have creepy caretaker. I mean, that's
Yeah. The
and he
creepy
would have
caretaker
gotten away with it if it wasn't for
wasn't
you.
meddling kids.
What are the tropes for like going away camping? Like it's like running into someone at a gas station, warning them off it, totally oblivious, like
Cabin
telling
in
them
the
going,
woods.
This is great. Realizing that the isolation means they're really isolated.
The premarital sex, or
drugs, premarital sex, all that kind of stuff.
Actually, one of the best things that subverts all of those tropes and does it beautifully is a film that I wish that I'd thought of for tonight. Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
That was again one of the ones that I was going to do, or Cabin in the Woods.
See, well, Cabin in the Woods is amazing. Same reason. Yeah, like there's a whole bunch of really good intermediate horrors out there that are kind of horrors but kind of not.
Yeah.
And Tucker and Dale versus Evil is just fucking amazing. It's Alan Tudyk and I can't remember the name of the other actor. And they are the local yokel people who in any other film would be the serial killer murderer slashers. But in this one, they're just a couple of good old boys.
Just the innocent victims, and all this weird shit happens around them. And like, I don't know what's going on here, boys.
Yeah,
kids are dying.
and they're just trying to like one of them's just shy and he wants to go and talk to the pretty ladies who are down from the city.
Yeah.
But every time he shows up, he just looks creepy as fuck.
Which is
Tyler
totally,
Labine is the actor. Thank you.
Which is absolutely like 100% what would happen if you're like, I don't know how to talk to you. You're all fancy city people. It's like, oh, he's really creepy. It's like, yeah, he's just shy.
Yeah.
Anyway,
and then accidental death and murder, which is the best kind.
So yeah, with the rental, good intermediate. Like, what makes it intermediate and not true horror? Is it just more psychologically based?
Yeah, it's a little more psychological thriller with a bit of murder in there. It's not terribly heavy. I suppose if you want to see a bunch of entitled startup company people get murdered, then this is the movie for you.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Entitled white people getting murdered.
Yeah, with a startup. Entitled white people with a startup getting murdered.
I'm
if there's anybody
surprisingly
that
on board for
deserves
that.
Oh no! Oh god, his face is off. It looks terrible. What's beneath the mask?
It's like, don't look at me.
Don't, I'm ugly.
That's a good question. Casper's asking in the chat, where does the Belko experiment land in the thing between? Belko is more, I'd put like advanced.
Yeah.
Because that's just horror straight through. Well, that's only my sort of choice.
Yeah, I'll go with that. Like Belko is pretty fucking heavy going.
Yeah. That's
All
kind
right.
of straight horror. Like I like all the things that we've chosen today have been like kind of bits and pieces. Like the freaky is comedy horror.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like Werewolves Within is also kind of comedy horror. And then you're talking about this one, the rental, which is kind of thriller horror.
Yeah.
Well, Quinny, what's your choice?
Well, mine is a weird one, and I'm actually going to take my fucking mask off for this because it's starting to
Reveal.
get really.
Oh no, I don't want to see it. Oh God, that's so horrifying.
Oh no, my ears are. I am not an animal.
Well, hey there.
What's a nice revenant like you doing on a night like this? What a lovely lich you are. As I said in the chat before, I'm pretty sure Sadako just has amazing vocal fry. She's just like, oh wow.
Lichels love hockey.
Yeah. Yes. So mine is going back a long way, and it's going back to 1973 into the creepy place. Sorry?
1973. No, there was no horror before 1980.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure you could ask like Nazi Germany, they'd tell you there's horror back then.
Jesus, bit dark. All right. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry.
Let's go all the way back to medieval
straight away.
France. All right. Okay. Fine.
So mine, 1973, on a small Scottish island off the coast of the Hebrides, we are joined by the one, the only Edward Woodward in The Wicker Man.
Welcome, fool.
I believe in the life eternal, as promised to us by our Lord Jesus Christ.
Sergeant Howie, West Highland Police. I am here to investigate the disappearance, Rowan Morrison.
If she existed, we would know.
You suspect foul play? I suspect murder.
Sergeant, if I were you, I would go back to the mainland. You wouldn't want to be around here on Lady.
Hail the Queen of the May!
Pagan. Where is Rowan Morrison?
Come. It is time to keep your appointment with the Wicker Man.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
You simply...
Ah, yes.
You're late for your appointment with the Wicker Man.
But where
To
are the
war!
Thankfully, there are no bees in this version.
As I was saying, Quinny, you're
Predaking,
so
Predaking,
fucking
you
lucky.
only knew of the Nicolas Cage version? I am so sorry.
Okay, this
yes.
one I'm gonna call this one existential horror.
Yeah. I think this is one of those ones, like, if you're wanting something that doesn't have much in the way of actual, like, gore and blood and guts or anything like that, there's fuck all in this. This is very much just a growing dread. But the story behind this one, my best mate, when I was quite young, Rick, called me up at like 11:30 at night and just went, dude, there is this thing on TV right now that you have to fucking watch. And I was like, what? So I turned on the TV at 11:30 at night or whatever it was, and I started watching this film, and it's creepy. It's this growing feeling of unease that everything about this place is wrong, and everybody's in on the joke but you.
It sounds exactly like Midsummer.
Very much so. Midsummer is very much the...
Sounds exactly like primary school.
Yeah, exactly. Midsummer and most of my primary school.
So wait, it's not in the desert and we don't go to Burning Man?
No.
Oh, fuck, yes, Jill, you've just done it. You've cracked it. I want to do that with you right now. We're going to rewrite The Burning Man, but it's for the Burning Man Festival. And someone turns up and says, this festival's not right. And everyone's like, yeah, no, it's fine. It's totally normal. It's like, no. Wait, we're burning someone at the end? It's me? Like, I'm not comfortable being brought to the desert to go to Burning Man and I'm the man that gets burned. No.
Oh,
Actually, that would actually make for a
Yes.
fucking amazing weird ass horror.
Right?
Yes.
And very much of the same ilk as this. So this one is directed by a wonderful director who then later on went on to do The Wicker Tree, I think it's called, which is semi-sequel, not really. And then in 2008 there was one that was, we really shouldn't.
Well, I mean,
talk
what
about.
are the great things about The Wicker Man, the original film? It's nuanced, it's slow burning, it has a creeping sense of dread. You get titillated early by it because it becomes this weird thing. Yeah, kind of literally titillated.
Yeah.
Because there's heaps of things like, natural masks, like masks of nature and naked women, and a bit pagan and a bit kind of like old school. It's like, oh yes, we respect society, but we also understand the old pagan ways. So you kind of go, oh yeah, this is kind of a fun thing that you could all get in on, and then eventually you realize, no, it's just absolutely terrifying.
This
it's
is
like
terrifying, and
it's a rat in a maze.
Everyone's on mushrooms.
Yeah,
it's a rat, a rat in a maze that in the end there's no good solution for the rat.
Yeah, and like it's got some really good actors in it. Edward Woodward does a fucking great job of being this puritanical Scottish cop who.
How much wood would Edward Wood if Edward Wood?
I don't know. We could ask you. We could ask his son, who was also a Woodward,
Yes.
but he wasn't an Edward Woodward.
Would Edward Woodward, or if Woodward could. But his son played someone else in Babylon 5, which is a big pile of shit. And if you can name the character that played that guy without looking it up on the internet.
No, I'm looking it up right now.
Yeah.
Edward Woodward's son. Anyway, I'm looking that up. Peter Woodward.
That's right. Peter Woodward.
There's also another son, Tim Woodward. Pete and Tim Woodward. Anyway,
But why is this? Quinny, tell me, why is The Wicker Man, and we're talking not the remake with Nicolas Cage, which we shall not mention again, because of the bees.
Oh, you broke my legs. Oh, you broke my legs. I can't run away.
I think that's the point we were making. The first one, nuanced, fine. Second one, it's like it's like any American remake of a British show.
Yeah. It loses all the subtlety, and also loses the thing that makes it creepy. So you go to a small, Scottish island off the coast, you fly in on your seaplane, you're meant to be hunting for a child that has supposedly either disappeared or been killed, and nobody seems to care. Everybody's getting ready for a festival, and everywhere you turn, there are these pagan belief systems that are just a bit fucking weird. There's a clip I was going to find where there's a song where they're all dancing around a maypole. Now, for a start, anyone who knows what a maypole is about will know what the song's all about. But it's really creepy when you see a whole bunch of kids singing about, and on that bed there was a man, and on that man there was a woman, and on that woman he put the seed, and it's like, it's creepy. There's a whole bunch of really just unpleasantly creepy, but at the same time, like if you're a pagan, you're looking at it going, oh yeah, that's totally natural that people dance around completely naked in a standing circle of stones. But Christopher Lee's fucking amazing in it.
Yeah.
Like so good. Lord Summerisle.
Yes.
And yeah, he's just at his absolute creepiest.
Yeah, there are other contemporaries, like you said earlier, I think, Jill, Midsummer. Is a spiritual successor or something along the same lines, but it's that it's the slow, nauseating unease that you get, which makes it horrific.
Yeah, and there is no horror. There's no straight up blood and guts horror or anything like that. Like there's a long section where he's just wandering around through this beautiful seaside town, and this weird fucking wooden horse just pops into the side of frame and goes, and then pulls back out of frame, and you're like, what the fuck is that?
Amazing.
But also the best kind of film in the sense that like you're never going to be confronted till the end, because it does have a big horror ending, doesn't it?
It does, but once again, not like there's blood, guts, and everything. It's just the horror of the idea of it is just terrifying.
But also, like, I mean, you know, without going too much into detail for people who haven't seen it, it doesn't have a particularly good end. Like at the end of the film, you're not going, "Yay, they lived."
Yeah, no,
this is very definitely
not
one
a
of those
happy
ones.
one.
Like, so this happened anyway. Back to your life, and you're like,
Yeah, just a
wait,
movie that makes you completely uncomfortable the whole way.
Yeah,
through.
wait, does this island exist, and are they still doing this?
Oh, and this is the thing. I was always kind of frustrated and disappointed that if you're going to do a film like this, you could so easily do a modern remake of it. You know, where somebody goes to a tiny little island and they're still fucking weird there.
Dude, it's just, no, this is completely fine. I know exactly what it's like. You go to an island, it's full of Instagram influencers. Everyone's very healthy. That film is actually coming out. It's got Nicole Kidman in it.
Oh dear.
It's a horror, remember? It's like all these people come from
Oh
different
yeah, that
areas,
does
and
look
they're-
real creepy.
Yeah, and they're coming to a place to get healing in a wellness center, and suddenly it becomes weird. And I'm like, can't wait for that one to come out. That feels like The Wicker Man. Yeah, go to
Yes.
Tasmania. Yeah,
And well,
absolutely. Yeah.
they're funnily enough,
Do
there
it
is a
at Dark
small
Mofo
town.
Festival.
Dark
Yeah.
Mofo.
There is a small
You've got
town in the
to.
middle of the highlands of
fine.
Tasmania called Powatina, that the entire town was bought by one church.
We don't talk about Powatna.
Powatna.
Let's be honest about Tasmania. There are many towns entirely owned by different churches.
Yeah. Powatina is the one that you could still drive through and you see all the windows closed. And you're like, oh, yeah. There is another one that I was thinking was very similar. It's Kill List. Ben Wheatley's film. Same sort of thing. Like huge foreboding, nasty feelings. Britain does creepy really fucking well.
Yeah. And what was the Prisoner is also an interesting series.
Yeah.
In the same kind of way, but that's a little bit more obviously creepy. Prisoner's
Without the
great-
horror too.
Yeah, Prisoner's great. Jill, have you ever seen Prisoner?
No.
Interesting TV. Like basically a spy or agent wakes up in a remote village that is weird and it looks weird and it's all got weird architecture and everything's all fucked up. And he just can't leave. He can't get out of it. Like no matter
Yep.
what he does. And it's
Anytime he tries, this giant weird white ball appears and chases him, and
puts him back in the
it's
middle
so
of the town.
creepy.
It's like, yeah, it's basically a jail, but it's an interesting jail. Anyway. All right.
you
Any
got,
more
Dion?
to say? Well, okay. This is where I had a bit of an issue about whether or not I consider it intermediate or advanced horror. People may digest, but I'm going to call it intermediate because it still has the difference between. It has both elements. It has basic existential dread and conversations, but it also has definite horror elements in. So see if you can guess it. Here's the trailer for it. We're going all the way back to 1982's The Thing.
This is U.S. Station 31. You read me? Found something in the ice. We need some help down here. Can anybody hear me? We found something. We found something. We found something.
Men have just discovered something. For 100,000 years, it was buried in the snow and ice. Now it has found a place to live. Inside. Where no one can see it, or hear it, or feel it.
I know I'm human. Some of you are still human. This thing doesn't want to show itself. It wants to hide inside an imitation. It'll fight if it has to, but it's vulnerable out in the open. If it takes us over, then it has no more enemies. Nobody left to kill it. and then it's one.
You guys gonna listen to Gary? He can be one of those things!
Yeah. Oh, hang on. We don't have our audio.
No, we do
I
now.
don't know why.
I pushed the button
Oh.
back on. I must have double clicked it. I apologize. Is it intermediate
Okay.
horror? Yes,
Take it from the top.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
No, we're right. Like you can all hear us now. Well, I mean, okay. Have we all seen The Thing?
Yes.
Yes.
Did you see the remake? Oh, not remake,
No.
but spiritual successor.
I did, and it was terrible.
Yeah, but what do we?
I'm
all
worried
feel,
they still can't hear us.
What do you all feel about it? Yeah, no, they can.
Oh no. Okay. I'm just looking at. Okay. There we go.
Jesus, come on, it's back. I know that it's back. I pressed the button. I made these things. The little things going on. Anyway, The Thing. We're talking about The Thing. Why do I love The Thing and think it's a great movie? Is because it has two separate movies meshed perfectly together. It's an alien horror, body horror film, whereas a consistent thing of there is a threat that people have to face. And it also has a psychological horror aspect of people are played off against one another. And especially in the setting where it is isolated. It's isolated because it's Antarctica. Which is one of the most isolated places on the planet. But it's also great because it takes all these people that are together, that have bonded, and forces them to fight against each other.
Yeah. There's
And
a seed
that's
of
why-
doubt planted.
That's why I think it works so
Enough to
well,
tip the
because
scales.
the horror matches are so horrific and great.
Yeah.
That it matches so well with the psychological horror that it's kind of like, oh, this is a perfect psychological actual horror movie together. And I don't think it's ever really been trumped in the sci-fi genre. Is that something that you agree with?
Yeah.
Yeah, I absolutely. If my internet doesn't shit itself. Again.
Sure. Pedal faster,
So
Quinny.
one thing I like about it, so it's a remake of itself. The Thing is actually the remake of a film from 1951, which is The Thing from Another World, which is in of itself an adaptation of a book called Who Goes There from 1938. And I don't think I've actually watched The Thing from Another World, but I find The Thing, just the concept of it, so fucking creepy.
Yeah,
You know,
I mean,
anything that can live inside your body.
it's the same idea as do you remember the film The Blob?
Yes.
Like, okay, it's the same concept. The Thing and the Blob are the same kind of alien, except one is comedic as fuck. It's like a giant blob that's kind of just a lava monster that just keeps absorbing people and growing, and you can't escape it, except you can by just walking fast.
Yes.
Whereas The Thing, I really like, it was really that first horror movie that I had to push myself to watch through. And to go and watch it and go, I have to deal with the consequences of this. I became invested in the characters. I didn't know who may be the thing. And once I worked out that there was this weird thing that was hanging around, it just freaked me out. And I also love that the fact that the ending is so ambiguous.
Super ambiguous.
Except that there's so many things online that are like, no, it's not ambiguous. You know, it's like, here's the reason why this person is the thing. And I'm like, no, it's not. It's ambiguous.
And it's intentionally so.
Yeah. Yeah.
I did see a thing there at one point that Carpenter said, look, if you look at it, we specifically put eye lights on particular characters so they would see glints of light in their eyes. And there were characters that we did and characters that we didn't. And that's for a very special reason. I'm like, I don't care. It's still great.
Yeah. Like you don't look for those sorts of things. You just kind of notice what's going along. And I felt that strange sense of connection where all these people usually in those films are banding together to fight a common thing. So like there's Alien. There's an alien, everyone's banding together to fight it. That's what makes it creepy. This one is they're banding together, but they don't know who's who, or whether or not one of them is the thing. And that is scarier than fighting the monster.
Yeah.
And it makes the ending scary because honestly, at the end of the day, you're like, I don't fucking know. I could be the thing.
Yep. Yeah. You don't know who's the thing. You can't be entirely sure. I think I told the story of how I saw the thing or a bit from the thing in the special effects thing. So the bit where they try and use the paddles to bring Wilford Brimley back to life. Shit is nightmare fuel.
Oh yeah.
Stan Winston did some amazing creature work for this movie. Yeah, it's hideous stuff.
And this is the thing, like I love the fact, that they made all of they were iconic. They were iconic puppetry and weird shit that's in this. And when they went back to remake it, they did make all of the things animatronic and real puppets, and then they CGI'd the fuck out of them, and they made them look weird. I still think that was one of the biggest mistakes, was that prequel/sequel or whatever the fuck it was that, like, because was it one of the special effects technicians that we talked to at one point? I believe we have had a conversation with one of them about it.
Yeah, and this whole thing that they built everything. It was all going to be practical. They were really proud of the fact that it was going to be practical. And then they just went, no, fuck it, just whack some CGI over the top. And you're like, but you've just turned it into every other fucking film that's around at the moment.
But I mean, like, there's fair point. Like, have you watched the movies that made us episode about Jurassic Park?
Yes.
I haven't yet.
And you've watched,
so
if you
good.
haven't, like, there's a bit about that, about the difference between people who are doggedly doing practical effects versus computer animation, and just about how the fight to retain.
For Jurassic Park, it's different. It feels like a different kettle of fish compared to the thing.
Yeah,
and they were still doing both in Jurassic Park.
Yeah, to a certain extent. Yeah,
like there
not
was
to the extent. You need to watch the episode, Quinny. But originally they wanted to stop animation for the dinosaurs, but back then the technology was still janky. They couldn't get it smooth. So for close-ups, they did do puppets, but the rest of it was computer animation.
And I mean, the T-Rex was mostly a big fucking puppet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the movement shots were all CG.
Yeah. But yeah, that's I mean, yes, there's always going to be a battle between that and the other. So, but yes, the thing, it's the thing. It's good.
Yeah. And is it intermediate? I don't know. Some would consider it advanced horror because it gives people nightmares. It's nightmare fucking fuel. Because once you get past the first 30 minutes and you start realizing that shit's going sideways very fucking quickly, it becomes a very terrifying experience.
Pretty much the moment the dog explodes.
Yeah.
Yep.
And the weird noises that it makes when it's like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you watch all of these movies that we mentioned previously first, and then this one, it might not seem that scary.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You should be able to
build
deal
yourself
with it.
up to it.
Yeah. It's intermediate horror.
Sorry, I just realized I was reading through some of the Wikipedia stuff on the thing. You know that they do, in America, they do the haunted house attraction things, where you go in and you sort of walk through a thing and get scared shitless. They do a thing-themed version of that.
Ooh.
Fuck that noise. You could not pay me enough to go in one of those.
No, thank you. What is my answer? No, thank you.
Yeah. Mine's the Steve Rogers. No, I don't think I will.
No, I don't think I will. Thank you very much. Dear. Well, there we go. We hope we've provided some people with some ideas to get, like, are you willing to get into horror? And I'm looking pointedly at Peter. Peter, are you trying to get you into horror?
I would love to know a horror that Peter could get involved with.
I think you'd really enjoy Freaky. think she should watch Freaky.
Freaky's quite funny. Like I'll give it like if you need the jokes to break the tension,
Yeah.
Freaky's good.
Yeah.
You can get in there. It's like Shaun of the Dead. If you can watch Shaun of the Dead, you can watch Freaky.
Exactly.
And then we just try and step you slowly into more and more horror. And then eventually we're in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And you're like, yeah, this is all fine. And you're eating popcorn.
Yeah. Or the Silent Hill franchise.
Oh, wow. Yeah, right. Okay.
Happy Death Day? Oh, I haven't seen Happy Death Day.
And I've been into horror. I just got out, says Peter. Okay. Well, it's time to get back in, Pete. Now that you live alone and
all right.
Build up that tolerance.
Oh, well, happy Friday. What are you guys going to do for the rest of your Friday? It's Friday the 13th. What spooky thing are you going to do?
I'm going to go out and onto the lounge and get off this chair that I've been on. Sorry, I just got distracted by what Peter said. Because she used the word spoofs. And my brain immediately read it the wrong way because I'm a child.
Of course you did.
You know what? I saw Black Sheep. I'm just seeing the Predator Kangaroo in the chat. He's like, oh, Black Sheep. And I'm like, I've seen that so many times and never watched it.
Yeah, same. I would actually say, what's the one that has the combine harvester?
Oh, the alien one. Aliens combine harvester. Fuck.
Yeah.
We watched it ages ago.
Yeah, as a part of Cool Shot, reviewed it in movies. That's a great Evil Aliens.
Evil Aliens. That's right.
Yes.
That one's
great
dumb as
use of the
fuck.
song by the Wurzels.
Yeah, but also like hilarious black comedy aliens.
Yeah.
In farmland Yorkshire or somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
In England.
Yes. Okay. Well, Peter's got some love for Black Sheep.
I am going to go and watch the season finale to The Bad Batch.
Ooh.
And then try and get myself into the warm hug that is Ted Lasso, episode 4.
Oh.
It's Ted Lasso.
Nice.
It's Lasso
We've
time.
got a big weekend ahead of us because we've got the restarting of Titans. First few episodes of new season of Titans are out.
Yep. Lower Decks
We've
is
also got the restarting of Brooklyn Nine-Nine
Yeah, that's a big one too. And
Lower Decks.
Yeah, and Lower Decks.
Does Heels start today? It's the first episode of Heels.
I think Heels is out
Tonight?
soon.
I don't know.
So if you ever wondered what the Green Arrow did
Tonight or
after
next
he stopped being the Arrow,
Yeah.
Went into pro wrestling.
yeah.
It's a slippery slope.
Oh, thanks, Pete. Yeah, Peter's like, don't forget to watch Ted Lasso. I said that already. It's a Christmas episode, so that's
Oh God,
Christmas
really?
episode.
Christmas
I don't
in-
think I can handle that much wholesomeness.
Christmas in almost July.
4 months.
Yeah.
It's kind of July.
Oh no! Don't say that, Jim.
No,
There's the real horror.
Someone pointed out that we're closer to 2050 than 1990 today, and I was like, fuck off.
Hey,
Yeah, it's like Jesus.
We'll put the
What are we
fucking
doing on
mask back
Tuesday?
on.
What are we going to do on Tuesday?
What was that, Dave?
What are we doing Tuesday?
Oh, we're
next Tuesday.
Quiet.
Shh.
We're doing a quiet place. 1 and 2. So yes, I've got some catching up to do because I ain't seen neither.
Very, very quiet. Very hunting aliens.
We've
got John Krasinski.
Also, it's kind of an extension of intermediate horror, I guess.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Absolutely.
we'll do it all in sign language, Jess Angela, but all I can say is thank you.
Yeah, all I know is
I'm just going to say it.
Yeah, and you know what? That's going to be bullshit.
I know, hungry. That's it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
I ate a weird bat. I don't know. There's actually a great bit in Community where Abed was talking to a person who signs and he's just saying gibberish, and she's like, "You're just saying gibberish," and he just says the same gibberish again. He doesn't know sign language. That's me. That's how I feel about sign language. Thank you. Well, have a lovely Friday and a lovely weekend, whatever you can do, even if you're inside. And if you have some lockdown Lego, tell us. I'd love to see your lockdown Lego.
I do have some lockdown Lego, but I'm getting to a point where I need to be away from this screen.
Sure, just put a photo on the chat thread.
Oh no, it's right here. I want to build it.
Send us an email.
And if anybody wants to see more lockdown Lego be built, send us some money.
Yeah, send us some
I really
Lego.
want to buy.
Absolutely.
I really want to buy the Avengers Tower set.
Oh
so
yeah.
I'll build it on stream if someone pays for it.
Donate to the Ko-fi or subscribe.
Yeah.
Chuck us some money in the Ko-fi and we'll build more Lego.
To funnel it. Like, if you give us enough money, just write a thing like send us money to build Lego. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, look, there's people out there that are showing more than what we do, and they're getting free stuff. So why not just ask for it? Like,
It's because we're not taking our clothes off, Jill.
I'll show
We're not
you.
doing our streams in a bubble
but
bath.
I went makeup free today.
The worst thing is, Jill, I look at you and I'm like,
she just
Yeah, and
just
he's just
freezes.
like,
yep, that's how I feel.
It's our only studs
Only
account.
studs account. Excellent. I love that. I love it all. Like
Only bricks. I like it.
willing to show feet for Lego. That's what the
Yeah,
that's
I'll
what
do
the
it.
future. Like, had I known this back in the 90s, I would not have grown up.
Mm.
Anyway.
Also, I give shout out to Predicanga for that being a double banger joke.
Yes.
Only studs, as in manly men.
No,
You know,
Oh, we've got a pair of studs right here.
oh fuck, the bar has been lowered.
Please welcome to the stage, Three Peg Pete.
Demonstrating her clutch power.
God. Yeah. Thank you, everyone. Thanks, everyone, for joining the chat. It's fun. Hope you found something that you could terrify yourself with over the weekend.
Yay.
Enjoy.
I'm going to go now.
Yes, we'll see you Tuesday.
See you on Tuesday. Bye.
I wanna live in a world full of heroes, not sit here counting zeros in a cubicle downtown. I wanna look out my window, see 'em flying, and swing across the horizon as I cheer 'em on so proud. See, powered girl keeps staring at her face, and call Colossus and have 'em teach me ways, and then we'd exercise. I'd be one of the guys. But martial arts from Iron Fist and Wall. I'll dance her up and teach her all my songs. Oh,